Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. My glasses is kind of fuzzy. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Knotty Love Movement. It's your host, Knotty. Bring you the latest and trending topics, and I vlog my life. Excuse me while I clean these glasses off. I want to get into TMZ's latest installment of Saving Wendy. You know, the one when she's standing in the building, talking on the phone to them. Hey, Williams. You know, Whoopi is presenting at the Oscars. She's hosting. So I don't know if you meant that as an insult, but Whoopi is a fellow Jerseyan like me. And I think she's a beautiful person. Very accomplished woman. So, if you think I look like Whoopi, I am flattered. But I'm beautiful in my own right. So I don't need no validation from you. Okay. Thumbs up this video, though, if you want to troll. Whoopi is accomplished. She sits on the panel of The View. She has a number of movies. So, I don't know if you meant that as an insult, William, but I don't know what it is about me that makes you think of Whoopi. Maybe it's the locks. Or whatever. Locks are beautiful. Okay. All right. As long as we on the same page. Like, I don't like disparaging people so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining, William. I really, really do. Please make sure y'all sharing this live out. I want to get into TMZ's Saving Wendy. Now, Wendy Williams, as you all know, is under a court-ordered conservatorship. In this interview, we got a little bit more details. Harvey asked the hard questions, like, how did you end up in this? And that's what we all been wondering, right? Turns out she finally, and I think the reason why she's been so tight-lipped about it, because Kevin Jr. is responsible for her getting in the conservatorship. We're going to get into it. I have a snippet. Let me tell you something. The way I feel about Wendy's situation. Hey, Ayana. Oh, excuse me. Ariaman. Hi. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. But I feel like the house of cards came crumbling down on top of Wendy. Not only did she go through a very humiliating divorce, and the circumstances behind her divorce was, he ended up getting his mistress pregnant. She found out he spent tons of money on her, buying houses and cars, if you will. He basically was treating his mistress like a concubine, like they were married. And so once she got pregnant, all bets were off, and Wendy wanted out of that marriage. And then on top of that, her mom passed away. And she was like this with her mom, okay? Her mom was in the audience several times. Wendy talked about her mom in the audience or on the show on a regular basis. Both her parents, right? She loved her parents or whatever. Despite their faults and everything, they were very tight-knit, And then on top of that, she had a lot of health challenges and struggles. Hey, Bree. Thank you. I appreciate you. She had a lot of health challenges and struggles. So I believe Wendy, once her marriage dissolved, started going through a depression, as we all may do, going through all those life changes back to back. And then on top of everything, she became an empty nester. Kevin went off to college. So here it is. She's all alone. She didn't have any friends or anything. And then the Coviana hit, okay, where we're all like really, really isolated. And I believe she started, rather than going to see a therapist, she started to drink the pain away, as most people do, that don't know what to do when they're in their grief and in dealing with that pain, internalizing and things like that. So my heart goes out to her. And I believe with her drinking so much and things like that, things got away from her finances and things like that or whatever. So I'm watching the TMZ special in regards to her, and Harvey asked her, how did you end up here? And that's what we all wanted to know, right? So I have it queued up. I'm going to play it from my TV so you all can hear yourself. She finally is keeping it real. And, at most, I feel like Wendy Williams deserves a reevaluation. I don't feel like she should be isolated from her family. I feel like she should be around her family. And let me tell you, because most of the time we see Wendy in a wheelchair and things like that. This interview, she stood up the whole time on her feet. And the interview was an hour long. So, and I think with her getting sober, that's why all her cognitive skills are coming back, and she's more on point. And I think it has everything to do with her being sober. So listen to this. Fair use, okay? We're going to listen for the TV. Y'all let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear okay, all right?
Yeah. Listen, this system has failed. This system has failed from top to bottom regarding this guardian and everybody involved with that. The system has failed. I want my freedom back. How about that?
Did anybody ever explain to you why you're in a guardianship?
No, not exactly. But you know what? There are some things that I do know for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. It's about my money. You know what I'm saying?
Can you talk to me about how Wendy ended up in a guardianship?
My understanding is somebody was in her bank account that Wells Fargo flagged, and there was large withdrawals being taken out.
My son, he overstepped his boundaries in terms of me. You understand?
Please thumbs up the video. She said it out her mouth. She said, my son overstepped his boundaries. And I think what happened is Kevin Jr., he saw his mom was in a drunken stupor, and he was young, okay? And I think he kind of took advantage, and they always alluded to it being him, but I think Wendy wanted to protect her only child, right? Rightfully so, whether he's right, wrong, or indifferent. But we see this all the time with the Nepo babies, okay? They see their parents out of control in their addiction, and they take advantage. You heard from Wendy's mouth. Thumbs up this video, Knotty Crew. Please support the channel by thumbs up in the video.
Set his boundaries, and he was inappropriately using my money without telling me crap about it. Like, is he stealing from me? Look, all I know is that in terms of what I'm dealing with, and that this is still going on, because, that's when my money got frozen at Wells Fargo, thank God. No more money stealing from my son and the other people.
It seems as if they weren't able to get in contact with Wendy, so Wells Fargo pursued guardianship.
So because they were not able to get in contact with her, because she probably cut off the world, she was just like all in her bottle and stuff like that, and that we saw her wandering around the streets of New York and things like that, she was a little bit out of control. You know who I was glad to see on this series? Rosanna Scotto from what is it, Fox Morning? I don't know if it's Fox, but yeah, she was on here champion for her.
She was living with her son, I believe. Wells Fargo decided the prudent thing to do was to make sure she's not being taken advantage of.
Correct.
What is going on with my son? And where's my phone? Where's my phone, Kevin? Where is my phone? Why are you keeping my phone? Why? And there was nothing that I could do without my phone. You know what I'm saying? Who am I going to call? I don't know anybody in Miami. I don't know anybody in Florida except for my family, you know? But that is my life. And so my son is overspending. And I'm like, okay, what is going on?
I want to read you something.
Yeah.
And again, we have been privy to various court documents. In one of these documents, in September of 2022, Wells Fargo, your bank, said you were the victim of undue influence and financial exploitation with respect to your money. Who was unduly influencing you? Who is the person that was doing this?
Thank you. Listen, my son is a really good person. You know what? I'm not going to cry.
It's breaking her heart.
I'm sorry for cursing. Look, my son is a good person, but at this point, he is a horrible person to me. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's the way he moves with other people. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on with these other people at my apartment in Miami? What are you doing? Oh, you spent on what?
Now, mind you, remember, Kevin got evicted from his apartment. Okay, do you think he picked up some of his father's traits of being a little manipulator? Yeah, or maybe some of his friends took advantage and was like charging her card and things like that.
What's going on at Wells Fargo?
I truly believe that Kevin overstepped his boundaries to the point where it alarmed Wells Fargo, right? And now we are in a guardianship.
There was a situation where Kevin says he wanted to rent a boat for his birthday for $1,500 and ended up getting a boat that rented out for $113,000. And he blamed it on the bank, that the bank wanted him to have that. That never really made sense to me.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He has a way of getting with, you know, a couple of other people. You know what I'm saying? My son is not the only one, you know what I'm saying, involved with my money. You know what I'm saying? And by the way,
Who's those other people? Could it be his father? Okay, because in the Wendy documentary on Lifetime, Kevin said, I never use my mom's funds without her permissions. His words. Who are those other people? Was it his father? Because his father started going broke too. Remember, he wasn't getting his alimony. Once she stopped working, and that was in their agreement, as long as she worked, he got alimony. But once she stopped, he didn't get no more alimony. And now, because Kelvin Sr. was living in Florida as well with Serena and the baby. Was he in cahoots with Kevin Jr. still garnering Wendy's money? Please thumbs up this video. Okay, now it all comes out. It's coming together. And Wendy said other people. And at first I'm like, his friends, they probably was like bumming off of him and stuff. Nope. That damn daddy. That ex-husband, okay? All he wanted was Wendy's money. He didn't love her. It's the ex. Thank you, Couture, babe. It's that ex-husband. Because why would he want to spend this absorbent amount all of a sudden? He's a college kid. I can see him spending money on food and things like that. And it's not like Wendy wouldn't give him. I think he covering for Kevin Sr. He loved both his parents.
Pretended to be me, okay? And it wasn't anybody in my family. It happens to be a person that I was introduced by my son.
A female called the bank impersonating Wendy. She's saying it's somebody that was introduced by her son, but could that be Serena? Chill.
And it's a woman approximately my age group. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody from the family. listen, this woman called on the phone pretending to be me. Red flag, Wells Fargo, red flag, red flag. And so red flag, thank God, they stopped all of the money that had been stolen from me by these people. You know what I'm saying? And they stopped, and fortunately I still have money left. And that's...
Right, grown woman.
I mean, that's, I guess Guardian, that's it. Well,
And let me tell you, cuz I'm a Wells Fargo customer. They real strict. And when it come to fraud and stuff like that, if they see anything out of order, like if they see a random store that I don't normally go to, they flag it. They make me confirm that is me. So I can only imagine. But this smell Kevin Sr. all over it. Because remember, he was going broke. He couldn't pay his housing taxes. He couldn't pay his insurance. He needed surgery. Remember all those interviews he was doing? Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Oh.
Hey guys, there's a change in the air.
2 changes.
It's a commercial. So yeah, guys, it is really, really good. Mm-hmm. It is really, really good. Good afternoon, y'all. We getting into, it's on Tubi for free. TMZ presents Saving Wendy, Saving Wendy. But she finally has admitted that Kevin Jr. was the responsible party for getting her in a conservatorship because he started spending an absorbent amount. And Wells Fargo tried to get in touch with Wendy, and they couldn't because she was hitting the bottle way too hard. She was removed from life and things like that. And I really believe her ex-husband was going through her son to continue to get money because those spousal support, the alimony payments, stopped when she stopped working. So how I'm going to take care of this baby and this gold digger? Because he had been using Wendy funds all them years to fund Serena lifestyle and things like that. I think he did it for his dad too, because remember, Kelvin Sr. moved to Florida with Serena, bought a house, everything. All of a sudden, Kevin Jr. want to rent a boat for his birthday.
Have you talked to Kevin Jr. lately, Wendy?
This guardianship started because Wells Fargo, her bank, was afraid that somebody was taking advantage of her and that they created a financial guardianship. How did that turn into a personal guardianship?
Because of some of the issues that she was having, mixed with, the bank feeling as though that there might have been some sort of exploitation happening and some sort of undue influence, that then led to the guardianship. Now, in terms of how they decided that the guardian is over her finances and her health, I don't know.
When I got involved with this shit, I didn't even know what a guardian was. You know what I'm saying? And it turns out for me, oh my God, Wendy, I'm being protected by your money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because my son doesn't have my money. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. Family, I don't know family's money. They don't know my money. You understand what I'm saying? So, okay, this guardian person look out for my money. But in the process of that, I've been here for 3 years. What kind of money is she making from me? She told me that she hasn't made any money from it. You know what I'm saying? Is that possible, Harvey?
That's not true because we're also privy to court documents where the judge authorized the guardian to make money.
Period. And that's where I'm going to leave it at.
It doesn't.
Okay, Wendy's been screaming like, yo, the guardian's been making money off of me all these years. The judge ordered it. So that's where the guardian's benefit of keeping her in this conservatorship. She gets a salary off of this. All right, thumbs up this video. I just wanted to bring this tidbit to you guys. Wendy is speaking more. She's being more open. Like I said, she did this whole interview standing in the windows, which tells me like her legs are getting better, and she does talk about that in the documentary. And I believe because she's sober, she's a lot more coherent. She's able to think more and things like that. I believe she just went through a depression. You know, a lot of things came crashing down on her at once or whatever, but I don't think it's just Kevin Jr. I think Kevin Sr. was behind it. And you know, Kevin Sr. sued the Guardian stating that he was underpaid in his alimony payments or something like that. And then the Guardian came back and was like, no, actually, you were overpaid. So you better back up because you lucky you got what you got. You know, it's a whole bunch of scavenger and leeches. And I believe Kelvin is the type of man, he will use his kid to get to Wendy's money. That's how low he is. That's how disgusting he is. So go to Tubi. Tubi is free for you all to check out the full documentary. But I wanted to bring those revelations to you guys. It was Kevin Jr., his overspending that flagged Wells Fargo. And because Wendy was non-responsive to begin with, they went into action to protect her funds. And if it wasn't for that, she'll probably be flat broke. But who? Because, I mean, Kevin Jr. was a college kid. How much can he really spend or whatever? All right. I think Kevin Sr. was going broke and he emotionally extorted Kevin Jr., this is my belief, to get funds out of him. Because he was going broke. Because God forbid if him and his wife and his failed businesses have to get out there and actually work or sell some of them cars he bought off of Wendy. Ciao. Whew, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I just thought this was eye-opening and now it makes sense. And I'm glad Wendy is being honest now. Because that only speaks to her mental capacity. I don't think she has full-fledged aphasia. And I know it comes in stages and things like that. She's very coherent. Because at first, in the beginning of the series, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's talking about the same talking points. This is not going to be good or whatever. But the judge made his assessment to put her in a permanent conservatorship based off of things that Wendy always normally did. Like, you know the way she talks, and she always did this on the show. You know how she always says, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's an East Coast thing or whatever. Everybody has like innuendos that they use and rely on when they're trying to think, especially us as independent media and stuff like that, when you don't necessarily have a script for all of this, right? And you're trying to come up with things to say or whatever and twist your commentary. So I get it or whatever, but those are her normal mannerisms. And I think the problem here is that people stepped in that don't really know who the real Wendy Williams is at the end of the day. And I think at the very least, they owe her a reevaluation so they can restructure this conservatorship, right? If they're not going to let her all the way out, I don't think she should be set up to be in a prison-like environment. I think her family should have access to her. I think she should be able to have access to her family. I think that she should be able to talk to her friends and things like that. And let's take baby steps to garner her independence again. She worked too hard to earn all the money she had to just throw it all away and for her to be locked in a room. Now, word on the curve is it's not a memory facility. It's a rehab, but there's no way of us knowing. It said it takes 3 years to be diagnosed. Right. So I just want y'all to check out the series on TMZ. It's very eye-opening, and Wendy is way more vocal than she was on Don Lemon and on The Breakfast Club. She's way more vocal. She's giving a lot more detail. I suggest you all check it out. But this is sad. And I feel like she deserves way more than this. I'm sorry. She deserves way more than this. And I think her being sober is the key component here. If she's sober, it won't progress that disease. You know? And I think she's getting that. I think she's getting that. And it's just a matter of her surrounding herself with the right people. But now we learn that Kevin Jr. was the catalyst. And I believe the bigger catalyst here was his father. And here it is. It's a child stuck in between two of his parents that he loved. His mom is falling apart because she has lost everything. Her family, her mom, the show, everything. You know what I mean? And then you got his father, the mooch, the narcissistic maniac that doesn't care about anyone but himself, and that little gold digger that he decided to procreate with at 60 years old. Like, all right. And I just really believe that's the catalyst. Hashtag free Wendy. Yes, grown woman. I appreciate every last one of y'all joining me. I just wanted to jump on here real quick to let y'all know the tea. You know I'm going to bring you the latest and greatest. Please leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I just think Wendy is a victim of circumstances in her life. And I think she got to a low point in a deep, deep depression. And she started to use alcohol to cover up. A lot of people do it instead of going to therapy. But she was also very lonely. You got her being an empty nester. You got her losing her family and things like that. Anybody under the influence is going to behave the way she did on that last Lifetime documentary, okay? And sometimes you feel like it's not going to be an out at all right? But I think it was a good... But before then, the conservative was nowhere, non-existent. Now, in here, she said now she sees her once a month. But they were able to create that last Lifetime documentary because the conservative wasn't around. And that's why they put it out there, is because they wanted to let everyone know the conditions that Wendy was living under. She wasn't getting food properly, okay? Her team around her was taking advantage of her everywhere, okay? So that was the purpose of that, to expose it. Now, ever since that documentary, it's like they're trying to punish Wendy, and they have put her in this facility and restricted her even more. Now, here recently, they have granted her to go to Florida to spend her dad's birthday with him. Her dad's birthday with him, which is great. But they have restricted her from doing all other things. So it's just like a double-edged sword. And it's just like, that cycle has to stop, okay? Let her go see her elderly father. His days are numbered. He's in his 90s. Let her spend her last day. That's her last parent. You're disgusting. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I love you all. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Leave it in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Love you all. Until next time, Knotty Crew, I'm out. One.